here. Are we on? Yep. All right. And record here. All right. Welcome to the FeedBak podcast, everybody. My name is Back. This is episode. Holy shit. I always forget what episode we're on. Whatever the last one was, I don't know, 217, 218. I don't know. Anyway, a couple of announcements. Make sure you follow the FeedBak everyone on social media. BAK, of course. I'm tired of this joke. So are you. I'm sure you are. On Instagram, on YouTube. I'm updating the YouTube channel as well with full episodes. And let's see what one of the PSA. No, I think. Oh yeah, leave a review. Give me some stars. 5 stars is good. 4 is good too. 3, 2, I don't really care. So share with your friends. Go to the archives. I've talked to a lot of funny people. I just had Benbow, Ridge, Hirschberger was on.
Yeah,
I
saw
had
that.
Sean Patton was on. I've had Dean Stanfield, Ozzy Moon. I mean, the list goes on and on. And the list is still growing. Like I'll get to everybody else. I don't think I can get to everybody, but in the meantime, I think there's a lot of people, funny people I've had on that you can talk to. You can listen to crazy stories about all kinds of shit. But without further ado, let me introduce my guest for this episode, the myth, the legend, the kimchi man himself.
What's up, guys?
Hans Kim is in the house.
Holla.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for coming all the way up here.
Thanks for having me.
No, of course. We try to make it happen. A couple weeks ago, shit happened. You're big now. You're.
Yeah, I was going to New York, and then the flight got canceled,
Oh, really?
and then I got COVID
When did you get COVID?
like a week ago.
Okay, you telling me this after you sit on my couch?
I mean,
You had it.
are you quarantining? Are you wearing a mask? Are you like taking it seriously, or are you just sort of taking risks like I am?
I'm taking risks, but you should have told me that you had COVID, man. No, you had it. You don't have it.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Oh, okay, you're good
I'm
now.
healthy.
I
feel good.
I just came back from Atlanta. I was in the airport,
Uh-huh.
and it's mandatory mask for everybody.
Yeah. Is
No.
it in all airports? Even in Texas, you have to wear a mask at the airport, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. It sucks, but it's everywhere. But in Atlanta, people don't care. There's no actually some stores you had like Target. You have to have a mask on.
Uh-huh. That's how it is in Texas, too.
It is now here.
Yeah. You can go into Hb without a mask.
No, in Atlanta you have to have a mask.
Oh.
You have it's like a city mandate type
Yeah.
shit. They're like, no, you can't go grocery shopping.
That's smart. That's how you're supposed to do it.
I think so too. I'm tired of these people who are just like, yeah, fuck it. The protest
Yeah.
against.
Anti-mask protests.
Yo, I was watching. So I'm from France. If you guys don't know that already, I don't know if you knew that.
Francois.
Yeah, ça va, merci. There are people.
oui.
There's people like I'm talking tens of thousands of people in Paris every day protesting against the past. Like they call it pass sanitaire, which is you can't go to a restaurant or movie
Without a
theater
passport.
without a QR code that says
Yeah.
that you vaccinated or you tested negative.
Mm-hmm.
And so tens of thousands of people without masks go on the streets
But I think
to protest.
that's what happens when the government has fucked with you for so long. Even when they're right, you're like, oh, fuck you, because you're the one telling me I'm going to protest. But I don't think that's like something that's worth protesting over. They just don't like the messenger.
Yeah, they don't, and also it's doesn't matter because it's the law now. Like you really, it's not going to change. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not something that you protest and you stand for, and then you have either somebody charismatic who's going to like kind of run the shit and actually try to make some shit happen. It's just a
Yeah.
bunch of miserable, angry French people.
Yeah, they feel bad because like we're all going through a pandemic and they're like, oh, this is a thing I can get mad at. But that's actually not what you're supposed to get mad at. That's not the problem. The problem is there's a pandemic and there's a disease and you can't solve it with anger or like the way that you normally
Or
solve
signs.
Yeah, this is like a thing that's outside your control and they don't have the ability to be okay with that. They have to control everything because they're used to being in charge and
Well,
not changing their life for anything.
The French are never happy to begin with anyway. They protest for yes or no. It doesn't matter. But here, I guess people don't care much. Do you have
What are
family
you
here?
talking about? They care the most here. They're always like angry. They're always like fucking
No,
retarded
look,
about
compared
masks.
to the French, it's nowhere near.
But that's because we actually don't have to wear masks or have vaccine passports. But if we did, like remember like in March or April, like they were protesting like right when the pandemic happened. They were like, I should be able to have freedoms.
Yeah, fuck your freedoms.
I know. That's a little nice game that you get to play after we survive as a species. Like these Americans have never had to survive before. They don't know what the fuck
No,
they're doing.
no, they really don't. They don't know how good they got it, and it's funny because when you we're just gonna shit on America, y'all. This is gonna be the podcast.
And
As
France.
foreigners, we're gonna shit on America. It's okay though. It's
Fuck
okay. If you don't like
France.
it, tune into another episode. But the whole idea of America freedom. I'm like, dude, most countries have freedom. It's not. It's not a.
Yeah.
You're not unique.
We have the lowest minimum wage. We have the lowest social mobility. We have like the lowest
highest
education.
incarceration.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not that dope.
No.
We're not that. We're seriously that when you start chanting USA at a drop of a hat, you're not really celebrating much because there's not a whole lot to celebrate.
Yeah, it's always the weirdest people, like the people that live in the boonies, don't have anything else but the fact that they live in the USA, so that's all they cling on to.
Oh yeah, it's just USA. I'm like, all right, cool, we get it. Get
but it's so sad because like Americans can't be like super patriotic without being sarcastic. Like every time someone chants USA, it's like slightly like we know we're being ridiculous. This is just like our animal parts. Like there's no like real like you can't be super like confidently proud of America without sounding like a dick or like
No, you don't.
knowing you're sarcastic.
Trevor Noah had a joke he said about that. He said, America is the only country when people chant USA, and everybody start chanting. You never hear United Kingdom, United Kingdom, United Kingdom. No, nobody else does that.
Yeah, it's
I've
so
never seen it.
animalistic.
It is. It's like you want to belong so hard, and that you want to. I don't know. I'm not that
stands
patriotic.
for like a lot of crazy shit. Like we just killed the Native Americans, enslaved black people. Like that's the kind of vibe America is putting out. That's how you do it. That's where you need to get to celebrate America. You just gotta be like, yeah, whoa, we're gonna take over. We're gonna kill you. It just doesn't make any sense.
But you know what?
logically.
I don't know if you watched lately, but the world's on fire. Like Greece is on fire. Fucking California's on fire.
As always, every year.
Yeah, but like in proportions that like never happened before. There's flooding, there's all kind of shit happening all over the world.
Oh yeah.
And the only people who'll survive are either going to be Native Americans because they knew how to like live off the land, and Aborigines.
Yeah.
If you're used to electricity and you're used to all the nice shit, when all the shit hits the fan, you're fucked. People bitch about Netflix, price of Netflix going up,
Yeah.
or your cell phone reception not working for half a second. And next thing you know, that shit is gone because, the world's going to shit. And now you're like, oh, fuck, how do I survive?
Yeah, because we weren't meant to survive. We're just like little batteries that they use to extract money from us.
Pretty much. That's the lesson to learn here. But
They
you
give
live in
us
the
enough
vans.
rights.
So what?
They give us enough rights to like be like, oh, I'm a human, but actually you're just like a little battery or a little engine that they can make money off of. But it's like horses don't have to work 40 hours a week, and it doesn't take 40 hours a week to survive.
It doesn't. But that's the system. That's the way it was built, and we just accept it as such. I know I've said this before, but like you go to Spain and the whole country takes a nap at 2:00. That's just the way they.
The best time to start raping.
That's true, but they know how to live. But here it's always go 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 go.
We don't treat
Drive through.
ourselves like
No.
humans.
Huh?
We're not humans. We're just a machine. Just keep chugging. Like in France, they're like, or in Spain, they're like, oh, relax, take it easy. Like if you had a zoo and you had like a little human in a zoo, you wouldn't be like, put him in an office, make him like do emails. You would like give him a nice little life.
Yeah, but no, it's always go go go. There's a reason why there's only drive-throughs is an American invention because you don't get out of your car to get food.
Yeah,
That's how lazy you are.
Americans are like okay with eating in like their car, but in like Europe, they're like, no, I must have my beautiful view and like a
Yes.
chateau and
Or just I want to sit at a patio, even if it's on the sidewalk, and eat my sandwich
yeah.
and take the time and watch people as they walk by because they walk in.
Because eating is very healthy. Like if you do it like when you're in like a stressful situation, it goes to like the worst parts of your body, like clogs your arteries.
Like at a red light.
Yeah. If you're stuffing down a cheeseburger while like someone's honking at you, you're like, fuck you. Ah. It's like
That's what it comes down to.
you gotta,
Like,
like
you know,
chill out to eat.
with
Get your stomach ready.
some jobs give you like 15-minute break for lunch. The 20, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That is, but you know, that's the world we live in. Or you're from South Korea, right?
Yeah, like genetically, but
Genetically, but not
I was
born there.
born in New Jersey.
Oh, okay. But your family came, you're first generation American?
Yeah.
So your parents came.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you ever been back?
Yeah.
You have family there still?
Yeah, all my family.
When's the last time? Well, before pandemic.
Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, cool. What's it like? I have no idea. What
It's very nice. Everything's ordered. Everyone's looking out
into
for
the
each
mic?
other.
The what?
Everyone's looking out for each other.
Really?
Everyone's nice. No one is like trying to kill you.
No one.
Yeah. Zero
What
people are
what
trying to
what
kill
it,
you.
what is the crime rate
It's
in
very low.
Seoul? Huh?
It's very low. Lower than America for sure. Like there's like in America there's like the sense that like if you fuck up someone's gonna like push you and be like, what the fuck? But in Korea it's like no one hates each other. No one is competing with each other. They're all in it together. They're all Korean.
Okay, let me add an asterisk to that statement because how diverse is South Korea?
It's not diverse.
Exactly. Since everybody's in the same boat. As soon as you see somebody who's a little different, it's like, oh shit, now the dynamics change and I might want to kill a motherfucker or two.
I don't think they ever want to kill you.
Not necessarily kill or hurt you, maybe.
Korea feels like a society. America feels like a fucking jungle. It feels like
I'll give you that.
they just set up buildings and then they just let animals loose. But in Korea, it's like, I am a human being. You feel dignified.
You feel like you have a purpose as an individual
Yeah.
and that you actually play a part somehow in the bigger picture. Is
Yeah.
that it?
Yeah.
What is the bigger picture?
Korea. The preservation and excellence of Korean culture.
Like we don't want to be like our neighbors up north. We're the good ones.
Yeah. We got to pull together so that we can fight off the communists.
Is that something that's taught like young? Like it's in the family, it's in the schools, on TV, and
Yeah, it's just a general vibe of like, let's not be animals.
let's
it
not be
falls
assholes
apart.
to each other. How about that?
Yeah.
Should be a
Crazy.
it should, yeah, crazy notion.
Yeah.
It's a really crazy idea. Like don't be a dick. And yet it's like here it is all you're always competing with someone else.
Yeah. It's like
All the time. Like and
you're trying to take from others.
well not just that, but you always have to sell something. You notice that?
I hate it.
Well, I mean, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice, but because you have
Because
no-
we have no safety nets.
yeah, but even beyond that, it's like you're always in selling mode. You're selling yourself when you go for a job. You're selling your skills, even as a
You
comic.
got to shove it down their throats.
Yeah, but even as a comic, what you're doing is look, this is me.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
that's
like
not
me?
like
Pay
a
me
good
so I can show you more
good
of me.
state of mind to be in, where you're always like shucking and jiving. It's like no true beauty in art comes from that. It's just like all crafty salesman bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Like if you really want to be an artist, you can't just be like always trying to be like I'm the best. Even my shitty thoughts are the best. You gotta be like this might not be good. Okay, here it is. Oh, it's excellent. Okay, that's good. Or it's not. Okay, I'll stop saying it. But it's like if you're always just shoving your ideas down your throat, then you have no idea what's actually good or not. It's not a good creative mindset. It just makes you a reptile.
So let's solve the world. How do you solve that problem?
We give everyone a living wage, a home, and food, and be like, we're going to take care of you, and whatever you want to contribute, please do. But you're not required to survive. And then we will create beautiful art and a community and culture as opposed to just struggling and killing each other and surviving like animals.
You're out of your mind. It's never gonna happen. This is America, man. take over shit. Okay, here's the weird part for me is that now I say we, even though I am American
Uh-huh.
as of 2010.
Nice. That's a long time.
It doesn't matter. I'm like I integrated backwards. I don't want to be take that back before someone listens to this. Uh, it was always a weird integration because it's um of course a lot of shit that happens that I don't agree with, and I'm kind of skeptical, and I'm like, yeah, this is all, and I believe that all empires fall at some point. And if one thing that COVID showed is like how unstable this country is, whether it's the economy, it's the healthcare system, it's an unemployment system, it's the housing system,
Yeah. It's like
the school system. If what happened actually still going on really, if what happened within the past year and a half didn't wake your ass up to say, oh shit, something wrong here, like for real, like
not
meanwhile
everyone can agree on that.
that something's wrong.
Everyone can agree that we're not healthy. Like,
Oh yeah,
no
I
one's
mean,
like, oh, that was a good way to handle the pandemic.
ugh,
I feel
learn how to
better
bake my
now.
own bread. No, who
Yeah,
cares? Who
it's
gives a
like
shit?
we were like, oh, an outside threat. Let's argue with each other and fight each other to the death.
And make it political.
Yeah, it's like that's not healthy. Like there's an outside enemy we could be fighting. Take all that energy, but we're so used to fighting each other because we don't have an outside threat ever. So the only threat
No,
we're used to is like liberal or conservative. So we're like,
you know,
oh, let's do what we always do. Let's go into our old habit of just fighting.
but I think it's I was maybe you can help me with this. I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, if it's something that's proper to the American culture, that it's always like conflict
Yeah.
is always happening with the coast versus middle America. It's
Yeah.
liberal and conservatives. It's Democrats, Republicans. It's the North and the South. It's the city and the country. It's gay and straight. It's black and white.
Yeah.
Like there's always a dichotomy. There's always a, oh yeah, I'm on team this and you're on team that. So fuck you. I don't care what you
Yeah.
got to say because I'm with these guys and we want to win. So we'll do whatever it takes. And if I don't, even if it goes against everything I stand for, I'll be on this team, and it doesn't make sense because
I think it's because of slavery and genocide. There's one side that's always just like trying to be animals and take over and just do evil shit, and then the other side's like, well, no, what are you doing?
white people.
White people versus
Yo, did you watch this documentary on HBO about Woodstock '99? Did you watch that?
no
Were you how old are you?
32.
So you remember Woodstock '99? Maybe we were too young
No.
for that. But you know what Woodstock is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Woodstock '69.
99.
Yeah, the original one was in '69. It's
Oh
the same
yeah.
people, right? So they're like, yo, let's bring that shit back and show the younger generation what it's like to put on this amazing all weekend show with some dope lineup. And it did a '94 edition, and then it did a '99 edition, and it was right around the time that you had like Girls Gone Wild,
Yeah.
and then all the like Limp Bizkit and Rage Against the Machine, and the whole festival went to shit because of straight white dudes. They targeted the entire festival towards college white college kids,
Yeah.
and it turned to shit.
Because they have no culture.
They burned down by the third day. They burned down the stage. They rioted, like
Yeah.
they were raping women.
This is what we create.
This is like at the height of, like, they had nothing to stand
Like
for.
back in the day, we were like torturing black people, but we also had like religion and be like, oh, everyone loved Jesus. So there was like some sort of balance. But now we don't have religion. And so it's just like all chaos. Like there was no southern hospitality or decorum. We're just like, oh, that's all bullshit. So we threw out the racism, but we also threw out like the limiting factor of religion. So it's like we have nothing holding us back now.
Do you always felt this way?
Yeah. I've always
Just
felt
just
like
growing up in the
America
country.
was a crazy place, and the people in America were very aggressive and toxic.
Have you experienced it personally?
Yeah, all the time on the road, on the in the gas stations, just people just
Like look at you sideways, or
yeah, always trying to start shit, always trying to say that they're better, and always trying to diminish and make me nothing and make themselves like do a trick off me.
it's a big dick contest, really.
Yeah. It's exhausting and it's not the way the world should be or is, and it's like we can create something beautiful together instead of just trying to tear each other down.
Wait, but hold on. So what part are you playing in this then? Like,
I'm
what are you
doing
doing to change it?
comedy, spreading coronavirus.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. I feel like they deserve it a little bit. Like
We're gonna
you guys
isolate
didn't do
this
shit.
this clip right here. They deserve it. Actually, a lot of people around the world say that because they're like,
I'm not doing anything for you. You guys did zero for me. Like I quarantined for a year. I saw them partying and not wearing masks and arguing about vaccines.
uh huh.
You did nothing for anyone else. Why would I do anything for you people?
Makes sense. Makes sense. But
I'm angry.
it's like, yeah, you are. Calm down, man. I'm not the enemy. I'm just some dude with a podcast,
Sorry, man.
trying to do comedy, trying to live, trying to feed my kid, and all that stuff.
You're
So
not the enemy.
it's all right.
I'm just yelling at you.
No, no, no. But it should be a wake up call. Because at the end of the day, all you're trying to do is because when you look at it like I don't care where you're from, what you believe in, what city you live in, what your sexual orientation. You just trying to live.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get by. You have a family. You're trying to take care of your family. You're trying to raise kids. You're trying to, make money. Have it something decent going on for yourself to where you can actually survive.
Yeah.
That's really all there is to it,
Yeah.
right? Everything else is fluff. I don't care that you can't go to the movie theater. I don't care about that shit. That's not. It's not it's not a right.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
It's not essential.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, we can't go get haircuts. I'm like, motherfucker, do you? Is that really important?
All I
that
need from
can't-
you people is to not kill me.
Yeah,
They couldn't even do that.
that's it.
Like I don't need movie theaters or Red Robin. It's like we can do without that, but it's like they don't know how to. They're like this is like they got too used to ignoring the pain of others. Like if they're actually caring about other people, then they wouldn't do what they do. But they just ignored everything else and like I'm gonna focus on me and living a comfortable life. And the pandemic happened, and they're like, well, I'm gonna continue to try to live the most comfortable life for me without thinking about anyone else because they practiced it for like 200 years.
But if it was something that was, look, if you want to go and shoot yourself with heroin, do coke all day, and smoke weed, and you're not hurting nobody, fucking get it, go at it. Get some butt implants, get some rings under your eyebrows. I don't give a fuck. But as soon as it actually affects other people, it's like anything. Like you're not helping. So your selfishness is not. It doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I mean, we know how viruses work. Now they're talking about there's a delta, there's a plus. You heard about that shit?
No.
There's I forgot where.
Probably had it. I mean, I got the vaccine and I got sick. I didn't. So I took a test
Mm-hmm.
at the Texas County, like the free thing,
Yeah.
and it's taken a week to get results. Like, if you want people to be healthy, you don't fucking go for the cheapest tests that take a week for it to come. You don't want, like, you don't really care. If you wanted me to quarantine, you would have tests that are free that actually are useful. A test that where the results come in a week later is completely useless. Oh, I should have quarantined a week ago. I'm glad I know that in the past I had it. Like that, it's worse than not having a test because now you're wasting all that money.
Yeah, true.
So,
And at this point, this should make a you know, at home test kit. Like before I go out,
yeah.
take the test, boom, whatever that means, and then okay, I have a negative thing, so now I can go and do whatever.
If you really wanted to stop the disease, you would just flood the market with tests, but they would rather make money. They'd rather make a little bit of money off of it.
Ah, what a world! What a fucking world we live in.
So like they don't care. Like they don't care about spreading coronavirus enough, so why would I care? I'm getting the information for the society around me.
Yeah, but the only way some okay, I've heard this argument so many times that it's annoying. It's like, oh, we turn into a dictatorship. Like, motherfucker, we tried being nice. At some point, it's like a kid. You let them, you let them. Okay, okay, you make your decision.
Yeah,
We're trying to we're gonna rely on your sense of discipline
yeah,
and on your good judgment.
yeah.
Like, you want to see Nana again? Like, do you want to you want to celebrate a birthday again? Do you
You
want to
have
do?
freedom. You can
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But at some point, you're like, hey, all right, enough. A fucking enough. It's over. Get a vaccine or stay your ass home. If we catch you outside, we finding your ass. This is
Yeah,
what they did in France.
yeah.
They did that in France. They were like,
It's like a thing. Like you can't just always have freedom. Like I'm sorry, but
no,
you
but
can't. You can't be playing with flashlights in the Battle of Britain. You know, you can't like fucking
I
throw
mean,
virgins in a volcano.
I'm not saying because what I hate is the rhetoric around it when they we're like Jews in in the war in World War II. I'm like, no, there were people. I swear to God, they had the yellow flag, like the yellow star, the Jewish thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're living in are we living in Nazi Germany right now? I'm like, no, dude. All we asking you is to go down the street and get a shot and get another one, and you're good.
Yeah.
And you're good. And if more people did that, we'll be better off now. We were at stage 2 on July 1st.
Yeah.
We're at stage 5 on August 2nd, or some shit like
Or
that.
a hotspot.
Yeah. And in France, the president came out and said, hey, yeah, if you want to go to restaurants, if you want to go to movie theater, if you want to take the train, if you want to take the plane, get your ass a vaccine or negative test. That's it. Within 24 hours, 1 million people signed up to get it done.
Yeah, that's like
That's I mean,
that's
it's
the
like treating
message they
kids.
got. They're like, "Oh, it's important. Okay, I'll do it." But if we don't tell them it's important, then they won't do it.
It's not even that if we don't give them a choice. At some point, I mean, you can't. Nobody that protests or that's against this shit is an expert.
Yeah.
Nobody is. It's like, I get it that the CDC fucked up with how the information was put out. We all get that, but that's what science does. Science is not wrong. We just have more information, so we make better decisions down the road.
Yeah.
It's not that they fucked up. It's more of a, oh, we have more data now.
Yeah, but these Americans are like, "Oh, look, it's like a playground. Oh, look at the nerd. You messed up. Now we don't have to listen to you ever again."
Exactly. So if we're going to treat them like kids, then shut the fuck up and go get your shot. And if you
Yeah.
don't give them a choice, I mean, it's really every parent out there should
But it's
understand
too
this.
late now. There's already a variant of coronavirus that is vaccine resistant because we gave them enough data points to play around with and figure it out. Like the way to do it is like everyone gets vaccinated at the same time, and then the vaccine is or the disease is overwhelmed and it can't evolve fast enough to find a foothold. But we had this thing where there was like 40% of the population where the virus was still active, and then 60% that was vaccinated. So they got a constant little testing area, and they got to constantly be poke and prod. And now there's a vaccine resistant coronavirus. It's like,
You know what? I'm kind of honestly, I'm kind of burnt out by all this, and I get that. Yeah, you take a risk. You take a risk when you walk out your door. You take a risk when you get behind the wheel. You take a risk with every decision you make in life. Some people are more, risk averse. Some people are less. I get all that, but this is not about, what you do to yourself. You're doing this. It's like wearing a condom. It's the
yeah,
same shit. Like you wearing a condom. Why? So you don't transmit a disease. Same thing, and nobody has a problem with that. If I told you, if I there's a reason why there's a sign at stores, no shirt, no shoes, no service.
yeah.
You,
'Cause you gotta
oh
look
no, it's freedom.
presentable.
I should be able to walk in here butt ass naked, and
Yeah.
and buy my Funyuns. No, it's like they're all rules, and at some point somebody had to stand and say, no, we ain't having this no more.
Yeah.
This is not how we operate. We're not savages. We're
There's a
supposed to.
disease. There's a
Yeah,
way to combat the disease. And if we did it in March of last year, we would not be where we are now. And America was a petri dish for the disease, and it spread to the rest of the world. It's like irresponsible, like for the rest of the world. If America wasn't such a big spot for coronavirus, the rest of the world wouldn't be suffering from it as they are now.
yeah. They never thought it would come here.
Yeah. 'Cause
Anyway,
they're in their heads. They're not in the real world. They're just playing fantastic games like in their heads about like what they think they're doing and stuff.
yeah. I guess we're just gonna shit on America. All right. So, um, how's the van life?
It's good. It's free.
I mean, it's gas money. You're the second person. I had
Relatively free.
Dre Riggs also lives in a lives in a
Oh
van.
yeah.
Is there like a van convention? You guys get together or something, or
I
is it,
mean, most people who live in a van are very independent minded, so it's hard to wrangle them in. But yeah, I mean, it's like the economy isn't working for us. The only reason I live in a van is because I can't get a home, because then I'd have to sign up for the job and like, you know, waste most of my life doing something I don't want to do, and then at the end of the day try to fucking do comedy. But now all I have to do is fix up my van, and that doesn't take that long, and then I can do comedy. It's like it's the only way I can be a human is to live in a van, and it's sad that I have to resort to it. But it's even sadder to like waste your life doing something you don't want just for like survival, and waste 40 hours a week of your life.
did you ever have a job?
I worked at a startup. I have a degree in mechanical engineering,
Mm-hmm.
so I worked at a startup for like 6 months, and then I never had a job again.
You went straight to
Jobs are
comedy from
bad
that?
for you. Yeah. So like after a year out of college, I started comedy.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And what was the click?
I mean, it was gradual. It was sort of like there's like this isn't a system that works. This isn't like they're just gonna siphon all my life energy out. So
So you already believed that in college,
yeah,
and then you got out. You did the startup thing, and like
yeah.
this is
Made a
this fucked up.
half-hearted attempt to enter society.
Yeah. And so why the comedy route then?
'Cause it's like Joe Rogan. I heard Joe Rogan talk about it, and it was like made it sound awesome. Like it's a meritocracy. You get better. It's a skill, and you can work on it constantly and get better. So I was like, yeah, let's do that.
But were you a comedy fan beforehand?
A little bit,
Like,
not a
did
lot.
you like go to shows? Did you talk
No,
to comics? So
no.
but to was it like a oh yeah, I got shit to say.
Yeah. And
Um
also, like, what else can I do in this fucked up world than make fun of it? It seems like the best option is to make fun of something that I don't agree with. I don't want to contribute to it,
mhm.
but I can make fun of it. So,
That okay, that's valid.
and I still want to work hard and make something of myself. I
Right.
think it's hilarious that I'm spending my life making fun of the world that I don't
That you
think
live
is
in.
good. Yeah. Instead of actually doing something about it.
I'm just gonna talk shit about the country I live in.
Yeah.
I was born here, so I'm safe, kinda.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow. So, do you remember your first time?
Yeah, I was at Jai Thai in Seattle, and I had a joke about stuff, and
Like, did you got up there and
yeah,
were you prepared? Were you been
yeah,
writing
I
or?
was prepared. I had jokes. I did all right. I mean, some people don't think I did. Someone wrote an article about how I did so bad, but I listened back to
God
the
damn,
video.
really?
Yeah, it was like
For your
a
first time?
snapshot into the life of comedy, and he like talked about my act. It's like painful groans and all that, but
Asian
wasn't
comedian
that
Hans
bad.
Kim. Really? God damn.
Yeah, my
That's
first
harsh
time.
for a first time to get your article written about your
Yeah,
bad
it was
set.
crazy. It came out like 2 years later, or like something, but
Uh-huh.
when I wasn't like that vulnerable anymore.
But you
But
knew that was it.
I
After when
mean,
you
yeah,
got off
you're
stage.
putting yourself out there. Like people are allowed to judge you and write about you, so it's like that's the
That
risk
is
you
true.
take.
That is true.
But
That is true.
yeah, I know.
So like what, 8 years in now?
Yeah,
Man, Seattle, New York, and then here.
yeah,
Holy shit. You're good, man. I mean, I'm not that I'm a I mean, I was a judge for FPIA for 2 years, so I can say that.
Sophia.
Yeah. No, no, I mean, I remember when I saw you the first time, I was like, yeah, this is not because most people that I've met are like, yeah, year, 2, 3 years
Yeah.
tops, especially if you're from here. But yeah, it's funny shit, man. Really, really, really funny
Thank
shit.
you.
So so if you knew about Rogan, you of course you knew about Kill Tony, and you were a fan and everything
Yeah.
before you joined.
I was a fan. Yeah, I loved watching it. It's a great show. It's like just learning about people. It's like, oh, let's talk to someone.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a. It's funny because I talked to this dude last night after the Shakespeare's
Yeah.
thing, um, and he was shitting on Tony, and I was just like, how so that Tony makes fun of retarded people, and I'm like, dude, it's comedy, it's roasting. If you go up on Kill Tony and you do well, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be asked to come back, or you'll get a show on Red Band's joint.
Yeah.
And if you do poorly, yeah, you're gonna get shit on. That's
Yeah.
just the way it goes. But you can't. His argument was like, oh, these retarded people, diminished people, go on Kill Tony and get roasted, and they feel bad about themselves, but they keep going. I'm like, at some point, you got to just stop and go do something else. Not necessarily stop comedy, but don't participate in your own harassment by going back on Kill Tony every week. It's just dumb. Well, they're
Yeah, I
retarded,
mean,
but still.
it's a jungle out there. Like, you got to take care of yourself. And, like, I'm sorry that the world is a harsh place, but if you can't handle it, like,
Maybe it's not for you.
yeah,
It's that simple. There's tons of other avenues you can use if you still want to do comedy. I mean, you look at Twitter is all jokes now.
yeah,
Comments on YouTube is all jokes. It's random people from all over the world who want to have the wittiest comment on the puppy video.
yeah,
Reddit, that's all it is. Facebook, Instagram, it's the same shit. So there's other ways to make it if you want to be funny, but at the end of the day, just trying to be funny. That's all it comes down to.
yeah. I mean, comedy's harsh. Like, what did you expect? Like, if you don't go to Kill Tony, you're still gonna get shit on. Like, comedy's a tough business. Like, it's not for people who are afraid of being made fun of. Like,
And or rejected. And or rejected.
it's like they want to be a shitty comedian and not get made fun of. It's like that doesn't work that way. If you want to make jokes, you're gonna be the butt of the joke sometimes.
Yeah. Did you did you have like an opportunity, whether it's Seattle or New York, to like take it to the next level, kind of like what happened with Kill Tony?
Yeah, every little bit helps. I was in the Seattle International Comedy Competition and I got to the finals. So that was fun. And I did like a bunch of shows in arenas and theaters. That was
No,
crazy.
arenas opening for
I
somebody.
guess just theaters. No, this is a competition. Like the competition, they go to crazy places and they do comedy crazy places. Yeah, and then like New York, they didn't really like me, but I just did my thing there and
Where were you in New York? What clubs were you working out of?
just anyone that would have me. I went up at Gotham once, New York Comedy Club. They don't really care about talent. They're just more there to keep their machine rolling. Because they have so many talented people,
Oh
they don't
shit,
really
New
have to
York's
go
got
look
it. It's
for it.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't like New York. I think New York's a little too toxic. They're just more interested in like climbing the social ladder and being successful rather than actually the art of comedy.
Yeah, I, it is a jungle. I mean, when you think comedy, you think there's New York and L.A. Those are the two,
Yeah.
and hopefully, yes. I mean, at some point, Austin is going to be is being put on the map. Chicago too. Um, but yeah, New York is rough. I'm saying that because I've talked to New York comics. I've been in New York and
Yeah.
seen comedy there, and I've followed my favorite comics are out in New York.
Yeah.
And when they talk about what they go through on a daily basis, just trying to make it, whatever that means,
Yeah.
whether it's getting a show or going from open micer all the way to being a paid regular at the cellar, it's like, yeah, there is there is a grind and it's rough.
Yeah, because everyone's afraid of failing, so that they only try to succeed. They don't care about actually getting good at comedy, and they just book their friends because they're like, "Oh, if you book me, I'll book you," and then it's
I've
just
seen
like
that. I've
it's
seen
just fear based. There's a lot of fear in New York, and just people trying to like be Donald Trump and just make it based on politics rather than comedy.
that. Is it happening here too? You think?
No,
Not in Austin, booking their
no,
friends,
no.
not as much.
There's a little bit of it in every scene, but in
Yeah,
New
yeah.
York, they like take it to another level. And I think that they're I don't know. I just don't think that you can do good comedy there reliably. It's just more about like
Wouldn't LA be
either
worse
being
though?
a girl or like I don't know. LA is like more open and creative. They're like, "Oh yeah, yes," and they're always like, you know, adding on and just like being open to everyone.
Mhm.
But in New York, they think it's a skill to reject people, so they just reject as many people as they can.
It's the New York vibe. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
it's the.
I think it used to be good, but I think now they've gone full retard.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, now that you're regular on Kill Tony, congratulations, by the way.
Thank
That
you.
that is dope. And you get to kiss a girl at every show you go on. Is that a recurring thing now? Like every time you get up,
Done it 4 weeks in a row.
4 weeks in a row, you've kissed a different girl.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Actually, it's funny because I was watching. I was watching. I was reading up and people commenting like, "Yo, Hans Kim, the legend. I wish I was him. I wish." No, you don't. Like, no, no, you don't.
You don't want to live in a van.
Yeah, there's way more to Hans Kim than just kissing random girls at every Kill Tony, and
Yeah.
it's like, but I mean, whatever works. It's not a. I don't think it's fair to just because I'm sure there's just some haters out there. I mean, in
Yeah.
every industry, they're like, the thing is, as long as you don't get, and I don't think you're the type like to get big headed to where like, oh shit, yeah, I'm Kill 20 regulars. Fuck all of y'all. Y'all are just minions and peons at this point. No, I don't think you'd be that type at all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here. Seriously.
I mean, it's not that awesome. I mean, it's like great. It's a big show, but I'm only playing a little part in it, and I just hope that I can do.
Sure, but you look at David Lucas, you look at all these guys like, they're major now. Maybe
Yeah.
not on the level of, um,
But they
Kevin
were
Hart
already
yet.
regulars before they came here. I was
Yeah, yeah,
here,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
I
yeah,
became a regular. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but you the first regular from Austin then?
yeah,
Yeah, there you go. So
I came from the trenches, so I have my roots.
no, you've put in the work and it shows. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thanks.
And so it's not I don't think it. I've never seen, or maybe you have in Kill Tony history, someone who's like, 2 years in becomes a regular. That's like,
Yeah, in the beginning, but like the the better people are like have more experience.
of course, that just the way it works, and it shows, and it shows. So you did fuck that girl in the closet.
Yeah.
Kudos on that. I'm sure you got a lot of fist bumps. Like, yeah, man.
There should be more of that. Like people are so paranoid of sex. It's really sad.
What do you mean? Comics?
Yeah, like women or like just like a lot of dudes. Like there's a lot of dudes who are like, "Oh, I love women." Like they can't come with a woman or like they've never been with a woman. It's like
I'll tell you
a
what.
lot
If
of
more dudes got laid, there'll be less killing and serial killers and school shooters and
yeah.
way less. It all comes down to how are you getting
We
laid
need to
or
be
not.
fucking more. There needs to be more
Yeah,
love in the world.
yeah. There
And
needs
we're
to be.
just
If we
not
didn't have,
fucking.
if there was a way to fuck COVID free,
But I think it's COVID free. Just do doggy style or like reverse cowgirl. But
or just anal,
it's like
whatever
men
works.
aren't sexy. It's not sexy to be living in a van or like living in a shitty apartment. Like there's a wealth inequality, and if men don't have money, they're not. If they can't survive and provide, they're just not sexy. Especially to like if you're in the Victorian era
Uh-huh.
programming of like, oh, a man needs to provide. and that's our cultural programming. It's not like women are like, oh, I can survive on my own. This is an easy world for me to survive it. They're like, oh, this is a man's world, and I need to find a man that will help me survive. And then men are like poor and like, you know, playing Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. It's like we need more money, or else we're not sexy, and we don't have money, so we're not fucking, and it's all the boomers' fault.
Wow. Okay. Let's let's dissect that a little bit. I don't think it's I don't think it's the money thing anymore. I think that there's been this reversal of men women dynamics where women, I mean, bottom line is everything a dude does, everything is for women. It's to get pussy. Everything. You open the door, you get a job, you make money, you're successful, you buy a car, you buy a house, you know, you're funny. Uh, It's all to impress somebody, and chances are it's the women side
Yeah.
of this of society, right? In hope that somebody notices you.
It's been made that way.
No, but that's how it's been, right?
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the way, women are like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, we like dudes that are tough and blah 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 blah," but also on more, um, what's the word? Men who can
Sensitive,
express their feelings and that are more
yeah,
into
emotional,
themselves, emotional,
empathy.
and you end up with these dudes that are depressed all the time and that like caught up in their feelings and they go to therapy and which is pretty much the opposite of what instinctively we are. But this and now the women run the show.
So they're like, look at them, they're little bitches.
Yes.
We're not instinctively attracted to them, even though,
Exactly, because now
like,
you're just a bunch of
logically.
whiny little bitch dudes.
But they're like that because they're poor.
Well, I don't think it's a money thing. It's like
It's definitely a money thing.
if you're a guy that just bitches all the time about everything,
Why would you bitch if you're rich? You don't bitch. You only bitch when you're poor,
no, rich people bitch too.
but not.
They're not happy.
Not to
There's not-
women.
Well, yeah, but
They
doesn't.
get bitches because they have money.
So you think that the problem is money at the end of the
I
day?
think it's socioeconomic and wealth inequality and the 1%.
Sure, in the grand scheme of things, yes, but I'm talking on an individual level.
Like, look at all the comedians. They're all Uber Eats drivers, Postmates. They fucking walk dogs.
That's
Like,
unattractive
this
to
is not
women?
a sexy occupation to have. Like, this is our generation. We have been denied our birthright. The boomers have kept it from us because they're like, oh, look at these faggots. They're just gonna use it to, like change their gender or get hair dye. But it's like,
Do bitchy ass things.
yeah, because they don't trust us. They don't trust the future. They realize that their
Who's
way
they?
of life
Who's
is done.
they? Who's they?
Boomers, the old people,
Okay,
oil tycoons, and
okay. The
CEOs.
the Bill Gates and the
Johnson.
those fuckers. Okay,
Yeah, it's like they kept us from having money, and now we're having to do with, like, we're rubbing pennies together trying to make like fucking TikTok videos or whatever. And it's like, we're not sexy. We haven't been given the keys to the kingdom. We're relegated to Uber Eats, like the
but
smartest people in our generation,
but I think it's
unable to make a change.
but I think it's more of a, just to dig a little deeper. I think it's more of a mindset than a money thing, because if you can have, if okay, let me ask you this then. Maybe that will clarify things. Assume you're you have all the money in the world. What does that mean to you?
It means I can make an impact on the society around me. I can build buildings. I can build a comedy club.
For other
can-
people?
I can make an impact.
That's assuming that you actually give a shit.
Everyone gives a shit.
Apparently, we just said people don't.
But that's because we're starving. If we had all our basic needs met, we would actually contribute to the world.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think that's up to everybody. I think it's there is a fraction of the population that goes, "Hey, I'm actually trying to do good here." That's not everybody. Most people don't think past their nose.
Because most people are poor.
I, you keep bringing it down to money. I'm trying to extrapolate from it and see if there's something deeper than just, hey, if I give you $2,000 a month, I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against it, but I'm
Yeah.
saying if there's something in mentally or in the psyche that just makes us, oh yeah, this is just the way it is, so I'm just gonna grind every day and just
I just don't
stick to it,
see that. I don't see like a mental illness, or I don't see like a thing that just caused our mentality to be that way besides money.
because that's what this country was founded on. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Everything is based on money. I mean, look, you're
Well, we
you're trying to
used
make
to.
things more convenient for everybody. That's money. You want to save money. You want to. I mean, what was the number? Let me sure I don't pull this out of my ass. Uh, some crazy, like, most Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and they don't have savings at all,
Yeah.
right? So when COVID hit, they're like, "Oh fuck, now I can't do shit," and then you end up on the street. Um, but I think that beyond that, there's a infrastructure change that needs to happen to even allow for people to have money. If the system if the system is built as such that, yeah, it benefits certain people and it fucks other people over, the problem is not the money, the problem is the system,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like I said, if if you learn everything from last year, is that, yeah, there's a lot of fucked up things happening. People were not necessarily aware about it until it happened to them. Like, oh, this is what we fucked, because I lost my job. I can't pay for rent. There's no rent program I can sign up on, and if I do, it will take 9 months for my application to be approved. So I end up on the street regardless. My landlord is going to be laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
So it's it's money is more the outcome of the problem,
Yeah.
but the root of it all is, this is how this society was built. And until you get to the bottom of it and you go, okay, hey, we need to change how you know how wealth is distributed, or how we house people, or how we take care of each other, how we eat, and all those things. It ain't shit gonna happen. The money's gonna go to the same folks every single time, and then it's
Yeah, but
been.
that's the same thing. We're saying the same thing. It's
No,
like
no, I'm
the
I'm
end
trying to go.
result is the money,
Yeah,
but
the end result.
what
I
is
was trying to
the
go deeper with it. Like,
okay?
what is it?
So
What is at the
it's
bottom that
the
really?
the deeper thing is like there's not enough money going to people because that's how the system was made.
Because what?
That's how the system was made,
So change the system. Tell
and
jokes,
the
and
end
hopefully.
result of that would be more money getting to the people.
Are you
Labor.
are you okay financially now?
Yeah,
Even though you live in a van, so
it's because I live in a van. I'm okay financially,
okay.
but
But you're still young.
labor. Yeah, 32.
Yeah, relatively.
It's like we don't need more protection for owners of capital. Like capitalism is all about people who are rich. It's like we don't need to have a system of economics designed around them.
Mm-hmm.
They're fine. They have capital. They have land and machinery and buildings. Like it's ridiculous to build an economic system around 1% of the population, but that's what you get in a country founded on slavery. You get you protect the slave owners, the plantation owners. That's a deep, rich history in America. But
You know,
we need to focus more on labor and more on workers.
Chris Rock has a joke. You know that joke he does about rich versus wealth.
Hmm.
You know that joke?
Where he's living next to a dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he says, like, Shaq is rich. The white man who signs his checks is wealthy.
yeah,
Like, the motherfuckers that own the color blue, those wealthy motherfuckers. And rich can go, you can fuck up your money with a coke problem overnight. But wealth is passed down from generation to generation. Jeff Bezos, his his entire lineage is gone. I don't think does he have kids?
I don't think so.
Oh well, it's like you live in a society where you get to a certain point and you would think that you'd be like, oh, you know what? I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay. I can, like, if you take money out of the equation when you wake up in the morning, in a sense that like it's not an obstacle no more.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do shit, you just do it. Like you don't have to. That's what's called fuck you money, really. And if you take that out, and then you would think that the next step would be like, okay, I've made it, whatever that means,
Yeah.
right? How do I pass it on to the next generation or the next to the community or whatever? But I don't. With as many millionaires and billionaires that we have here, it's crazy to me that the countries and the state it's in.
Yeah.
Like just take all Hollywood actors, like the George Clooney's and those guys,
Yeah.
right? Make every movie they make millions. People who on TV, who are in music, make millions, right? Okay, what do you do with that? Do you reinvest it? Do you start a foundation? Like we need more foundation to foundation shit.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna try to make things. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some that do. It's just that it's such a slow process. You would think that with as much money as there is out there,
Yeah.
it should move way quicker. The thing is, it
But
gets
you
in the
can't
hands.
have a system where you just hope that rich people are nice.
Exactly, exactly. But that is the like you really measure someone's integrity
Yeah.
with by what they do when they're in a position of power,
Yeah.
whether it's monetary power or it's physical power or it's legal power, sexual power, whatever power it is.
Yeah.
That's how you measure an integrity of somebody. It's like, okay, now you're the shit. What do you do with that? You know, with great power comes great responsibility. That's pretty much what that means.
But they didn't earn that money. Every person comes from a society, and without that society, they wouldn't have earned that money. So we're not taxing them correctly. We're not getting the proper. We're not paying. They're not paying their workers properly to get that money. And the only people who survive and thrive in this system are people who steal and take more than they should, and just like a virus, just consume.
Man, that is a grim outlook, man.
This is like our system. This is
No,
like
no,
what we.
I get it.
This is
I,
what we
I want to.
encourage.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I know. It to me, I still want to believe in people to do good. I know it's very optimistic, and yeah, I get let down a lot. Um, and but I'm curious what that ratio
This
is.
is just the system. Like people are great. It's just like if you we're very
Yeah, but if you
valuable.
work it,
Any system we can thrive in any system. We just have a set of rules right now that are not set up for us to turn evil. So we turn evil.
yeah, but the people actually know how to work it, and and get to where they are now. It's like, yeah, I did it. Why can't you do it?
Because we don't want to turn into you, or not you, but we don't want to turn into Jeff Bezos and have to destroy rainforests to gain success. Like their skill is in being amoral and hurting others, and that's not something that we should thrive for.
Are you writing a book or something?
Um, no.
I don't know. I'm saying you have a lot of thoughts on this and a lot to share. And don't get me wrong, your comedy is dope. Well, I'm curious because you get pretty serious about this, and it's not funny. You see what I mean?
I mean, like,
I mean,
I don't need to be funny all the time.
no, no, no,
But
no,
it's
no.
like,
I'm
I
not
just
saying you
like
should.
thinking about it because it's the world we live in, and it's like,
I totally get it. What I'm saying is, you, the fact that you have strong feelings about it,
yeah,
I think that, uh, like you actually, which is, I think, a quality to have to like to stand for something. Like, hey, there's some fucked up shit going around here, and
yeah.
this is what I think. And now, what do I do with this information?
I try to make people feel bad because if
Oh,
you
thanks.
feel bad, not you, but just in general, just like the people that refuse to feel bad about it, that's the problem. You need to feel bad. You can't just try to feel good. You feel
Are
bad and then things will change.
do people who are happy all the time piss you off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew, and there's some people like that. They just always, oh yeah, this is a red, roses are red, blah 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 blah. Everything is great. I'm like, no, let me show you where I live. You'll see if the world is great. Then be like, well, that's where you live. I'm good. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's really mean. That's the opposite of happy. They're not really happy.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter how much amount of money you have, you can still be miserable.
Hmm.
That's the thing. So if the goal is to stay alive as long as possible, live whatever life you want to live comfortably, you know, that everybody has a different definition of what success is. For some people, it's I want to be a millionaire. I'll start rapping, and my end goal is I want to become you know, the next Puff Daddy or whatever. Or oh, I'm gonna start comedy because I want to be the next Joe Rogan or the next Kevin Hart. I'm like, no, I don't think that's how it works. It's like you believe in something, you believe in yourself, you do the work, and eventually that happens. Metallica didn't set out to be one of the best metal band ever.
Yeah.
They just loved to do music, and in that process, they became Metallica.
Yeah.
It's the pro. I think another dimension to this is people just like the shortcuts.
Hmm.
You know,
Because they're desperate.
yeah,
Therefore.
exactly. I mean, there's they sell cream that makes you supposed to make you lose weight, or the belt that you put on your abs
Yeah.
that's supposed to make give your abs back under your fucking dad bod belly. And so if you're not willing to put in the work and you just want to sit on your ass, yeah, and shit gonna happen for you. I know that it's true that not everybody starts at the same starting line.
Yeah.
That's true. It sucks. And again, this is a deeper problem that has to do with the system. However, the grind is the grind,
Hmm.
no matter what you're doing. Whether it's comedy or it's music, it's painting, it's I don't know, masonry, it's programming, whatever the fuck, whatever you're into, um, to get to where whatever your definition of success is.
Hmm.
And nobody says you're supposed to own a house in the hills. Nobody said that's the thing. They sell you this thing like, oh yeah, you're gonna be uh you graduate from college, you start a job, and then you meet a chick and you get married and you have kids, you move into the suburbs, and then maybe you start your own company, or and then that's you go on vacation once a year and that's it. And it's like, no, I know what happy is for me. Don't tell me what happiness should be for me.
Hmm.
If you choose to live in the van because you have a goal in mind and that's what it takes to get to that goal, then that's part of the process.
Hmm.
And I think the process is the fascinating part of it, not the yeah, I'm gonna be the next Joe Rogan. Does that make sense? Or I'm just rambling.
Yeah. Like the goal is nice to have of like what you want to be, but that's like 1% of it, and then 99% of it is actually getting to that place with hard work
That's the
and
fun.
dedication.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting part because along the way you meet people, you make mistakes, you fuck up, you get back up again, you get knocked down, you get back up again, you have one small victory, you celebrate it, and then someone else comes along and go, "Hey, I like what you're doing. Let's work together." And then you just, kind of work your way through that path. And then at some point it's like, does the objective even matter? Because this is actually what we're in. Because we're all gonna die at some point.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Now this, I mean, it sounds really grim after all this all this positive talk, but Um,
The hard work.
that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
do you enjoy living in a van? Like if
Yes.
you do,
Uh huh.
because why?
Because I don't have to have a job. Because I can go wherever I want, hang out with whoever I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be somewhere at a certain time. I don't have to wake up with an alarm clock. I don't have someone telling me what to do or pretending like I'm doing something when I'm not. I don't have any restrictions and I don't have to lie.
So where do you want to be in 10 years? What's the end goal?
Just to continue
I'm your
living an
counselor.
authentic life.
My name is Back. I'm your counselor.
Um,
I'm look. I'm
just like
I'm
living a
39. I
life
got nothing to
where
teach you.
I don't have to lie to anyone or like pretend at all. Like I don't have to kiss ass or be like, "Oh, that's very interesting" or whatever.
But do you like? How do you project yourself in the future, or you just go, "Hey, this is what I'm doing right now. We'll figure the shit out as you go."
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep getting good at whatever I'm doing, and I have faith that I'll hopefully choose the right things to do. And it's like I don't know, it's like I have faith in human ingenuity, and I'm a human,
In the mic.
so
You're what? You're a human? Is that what you said?
yes, I'm a human.
Ah, fascinating.
So it's like since I like people, and I don't think that they're deep down evil and corrupt, I don't have to like turn myself into something that I'm not. I can just be a human.
That,
But if you hate people, then you're constantly trying to escape your genetics, which is impossible, and they're miserable. And yeah, it's like
okay.
great to be human.
Let me ask you another question because I try to comics that I've had on the show. Um, put it this way, I don't think anybody is one thing, right? I don't think you're not Hans Kim the comic. You're Hans Kim the guy,
Mhm.
right? Hopefully, you're Hans Kim.
Yeah.
There's way more to you than just being a comic. So, did you have passions or things that you wanted to do, or you still do outside of comedy?
Yeah.
Like what?
I do it. I talk to people. I play basketball. I edit video. Like, there's nothing that I'm doing that I'm not doing that I don't want to that I wanted to do. Like, I don't need to fucking go rock climbing. I can watch someone rock climbing. Oh, that's what it's like.
uh, and dating is just not in the picture either.
I mean, I'm talking to some girls right now, but
Oh, you
it's
had
like,
four.
yeah.
Yeah,
But it's like I don't really try to pursue it. I don't think it's like a healthy society that I want to dip my dick into. I
you
let
just
them
did in
come
the
to me.
closet of a
Yeah,
comedy club.
I did barely any work for that. Like I let them come to me. Like I'm not gonna go out there and change because you can like completely change your whole personality and like make it your whole life to get laid, and I don't think it's worth it.
Well, yes, but I mean that's a separate shit. If we're gonna go into that, um, the concept of dating in and of itself, I think, is ridiculous. But because you're not, it's like a job interview. You're not you're showing the best version of yourself, which is not necessarily
Yeah, it's
who
not
you really
how
are.
life works. It's a very
Exactly. It's a
bureaucratic way to try to find your love.
you're selling again. You're selling yourself, and you're saying,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I'm a good guy. I don't cheat, and I don't beat women."
It
And
should be like, can I improve your life? Can I make your life better? Yes, then fuck me. No, then don't fuck me. But instead, it has to be like, will you improve my life the most? Will you provide me the financial whatever? It's like,
were you on
it
apps?
makes it very unnatural.
Were you on dating apps at all? Did you try those
No,
at all?
no. I used to, but I don't anymore.
That shit is weird because you're basically shopping for humans,
Yeah,
and it's like, and the thing is, everybody wants the same thing. Unless you're just like, hey, I just want to fuck, that's one thing. But
yeah,
if you're like looking for, hey, I want companionship,
yeah.
right? It's like, yeah, I want, independent and funny and stable
I feel
and
like women are just too like picky.
yeah,
They don't know what they want. They just download whatever they're told to want.
There's a story we tell in France. It's in France or in Africa or one of anyway. It's like this um woman enters a building, goes to the elevator. Maybe you've heard it. And it said, first floor. All right, you want to meet a guy that has that's honest.
Yeah.
Second floor is going to be honest and going to be stable. Third floor, honest, stable, and rich or something like that. And the top floor had like all the qualities that a woman wants in a man. And they get to the top floor and there's nobody.
Mhm.
There's no guy. Nobody meets all those criteria.
Mhm.
So you got at some point they'll be like, well, shit, this is what I got. This is what I work with.
Yeah.
But until you make that choice, yeah, you're gonna try to find whatever is best suited.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, it's like who. My dad told me this a while back, and he said, fuck all the love shit. It's like this whole love at first sight, and oh my god, I can't leave without you, like the blah blah. Yeah, fuck that shit. Everything you see in every rom com out there,
Yeah.
the fuck all that. All it is, and my parents been married for 40 some years. Is if you can be with somebody in the same room and just be good.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
You don't
Get
try to.
along.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's not to where I mean, don't get me wrong. Every relationship will have its ups and downs and fights
Yeah.
and all. Of course, we all know that shit. Otherwise, we wouldn't. That yeah, that's where it works. Can't live with them. Can't live
Yeah.
without them. That's just how it works. But if you can find somebody, be like, yeah, you know what? I like you around, just around. I don't need you in my business. I don't need you way out there. Just in the vicinity, and I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's all I need. Did you did you tell how long until you tell girls that you live in the van, or you tell them straight up?
Depends.
The last one, or the one you see now?
She knew from the show. She watched the show.
Oh, was you one of the girls you kissed?
Yeah.
The one with the dude with the crazy hair?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I don't keep track. So
I mean, it's like it should be like an organic thing, like two people in a room, and like the natural attraction, the natural chemistry that arises from just two people being in a room. But then some people are like, okay, this is nice, but how can I use this to get a house or a retirement plan
or get
or
ahead in life,
a bodyguard? And it's like they try to parasitize and
use
fucking
you.
mine natural connection and romance to get things from people. And it's like that's ruining love. Like, and also the fact that men are poor and unable to provide, and those two things of like men being poor and dumb and shitty, and women just needing looking at love as a way to survive and as a career and as a retirement plan, I think is like it's causing us to not fuck
Did
at
someone
a
break
higher
your
rate.
heart in the past?
It's a very
Or,
irrelevant thing, but
no, no.
yeah,
I'm saying like
my past experiences have informed my opinion now. Yes.
okay. So money and I mean, yeah, nobody wants to feel used, but we're used all the time.
Yeah, but it's like there's a way there's a spectrum of like how used you are, and right now we're just trying to use each other too much.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
Well, yeah, I
like
mean,
people as crops.
I mean, social clout is an actual. You can actually measure social clout now.
Yeah.
When you talk to somebody and um, they tell you how many followers they have and how popular they are, it's like and it's measurable now. We didn't have that before. Like, look, I have 2 million followers. Okay, does that make you a good person? Does that what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
People could be, you can't, out of those 2 million, half of them could hate your guts, but they still want to know what you're up to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean shit. But that is now social currency.
Yeah.
It really is. And nobody, you know, back then you had, I'm trying to think how, like, how would you show your social status back then? Well, it was on based on shit you owned.
Reputation.
Reputation, I own a nice house, I got a nice car, I got a trophy wife.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my shit. This is me, blah blah blah. Now it's like, yeah, people want to know what I'm up to. I'm the star of my own show, and people tune in to see what I'm doing every minute of the day.
Yeah.
And that's my worth. And that measure turns into money.
Yeah.
You would have told me like 20 years ago that being an influencer could be a job where people you make money because people want to see you, because people want to buy shit because you said so.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing. I mean, 20 years ago, it's like, no, no, what the fuck is this? And don't get me wrong, it is whatever works for you, right? Whatever, if that's your hustle, that's what you do, and you look. It doesn't matter. I mean, it helps if you look good. You know, some hot some hot chick just does unboxing videos, and people don't give a fuck about the unboxing. They want to see the hot chick,
Mm-hmm.
so they'll follow her, they'll subscribe, they'll do all that shit, and she knows she's using it, and she probably also knows that people are using her videos to jerk off or whatever else. But yet it works. That relationship, that dynamic works, and of course, it's more beneficial to the person providing the service
Mm-hmm.
because they make a lot of money just unboxing videos with a bikini top on, and that's a job.
Yeah, but that only works because we have a sick society where there's a bunch of sex-starved men.
Oh, I mean, look, the amount of sexual repression out there is nuts. The fact that when I came here in 1998, there was I forgot who told me this, but like, hey, there are three things that you cannot talk about in this country without people getting very passionate or offended: is religion, politics, and sex.
Okay.
Now everybody talks politics. Everywhere you go, people talk politics. It's not
Uh-huh.
taboo anymore. If you say that you can say fuck off your liberals, and if you're a Trumper, don't
Yeah.
swipe left. People talk politics all the time now. Religion, doesn't really have a place right now.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in Google and Facebook and convenience and money. It's
Yeah.
it's not really a like a,
Factor.
yeah. And sex is still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Out of those
Main
three,
country based on Puritan
yeah.
uh,
And yet,
morals.
this country has the biggest porn industry in the world, the most sexual
Yeah.
deviant motherfuckers in the world, probably.
There was like some person that was like, American girls look at sex like the man did something to them, like they took something from them. But like Canadian girls are like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Like Americans look at sex as like a business, like, oh, I can use this to get ahead. And since I don't have health care or a safety net, I have to use sex to get something.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just fuck them, they're like, oh, I got fucked out of things I could have had. And it's like, if we had a society that was providing for our people, then we could have sex more freely because we wouldn't have to use sex to get basic human rights. But we don't live in that world, and we live in a world where sex is like you have to hold it off until you get something from it. And it's like it ruins
Or just to,
sex.
tell people about it. I mean, it's like porn is free now. Everybody can get it on their phone, and you're creating a generation that, I mean, don't get me wrong, porn was always ahead of the curve technology wise all the time. when VHS tapes came out, porn was right on top of it,
Yeah.
right? Like, oh, you don't have to go to the theater like a creep and jerk off in the corner. I can just take that shit home and watch it on my VHS player. Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the internet was like, all right, this is what's going to be. And now it all boils down to how do you teach people? We have all these amazing tools, all these amazing, uh, you know, I mean, we have a supercomputer in our pockets pretty much. And yet we always want the best, the fastest, the uh, the most efficient, the most convenient, everything, and that has to do because we don't want to deal with reality and the harshness of just having to figure shit out. I want to lose weight right now. I never seen the country with so many diets and
Yeah, it's
gyms.
like because we don't have a culture. Back in like the old country, you just eat the diet of your ancestors. But here it's like, oh, we don't have a shared culture. So we have to find it. We have to make it. We have to sell it.
Sell it. Like I don't. If I go back home to see my cousins in Africa and I tell them, hey, are y'all any of y'all on a gluten diet or a keto diet? Like, what the fuck is that? Never
They don't
heard
have
of
to think
keto.
about it
They
because they
don't.
just eat the diet of their culture.
Yeah, and then they have better things to worry about than that. And it's like that's why I always tell people like if you're traveling will always be beneficial to your mind in a sense that you go somewhere else, you learn, you come back, and hopefully you integrate what you learn in your life. You're like, oh wow, I didn't realize that these people got to walk for miles to get some water.
Yeah.
And now I'm here. I can just turn on my faucet. And actually, I don't even do that. I go to the grocery store and buy bottles of water that end up in the river and that are dumped in the ocean and that end up on the other side of the world. And I'm fucking those people over.
Yeah.
And you're like, so, but we're so selfish like that. Oh, we just, every picture I see of women on Tinder and those dating sites, like, oh, look at me. I'm in Africa. I'm in Asia. I'm visiting. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, but are you actually taking that in as a learning experience, or are you just there to be a tourist and then come back and go back to your old ways?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I don't know what life. I mean, I don't know what life is like in South Korea, but if people get along fine and the economy is everybody got a fair shot and people are not killing each other over stupid shit and you're and if you visit there you can actually learn from it and be like, oh yeah, we're actually fucking up. This shouldn't be the way to live because it's too stressful. It's too. I mean,
Yeah.
people losing
You
their
learn it.
shit. People are losing their shit right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm rambling.
Like see other cultures, you're like, oh, maybe I could do that instead. Like
No,
if
but
you only have one, then you don't have options.
America doesn't learn from other countries. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
They always trying to do it their own way, thinking that their way should be their way, and other people have to adapt to their way. And I'm like, no, people shit on.
People are like, we're successful here, so we don't need to learn anything from anyone
No, we
else.
know it. We know it all. We're just we have everything we need right here. We don't need to
Yeah.
go anywhere else. You know, you still see the
We have
same shit from one state to the next.
Jimi Hendrix, so I don't have to take a vaccine.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Because we made Jimi Hendrix, we're like, we're an awesome country. Now I don't have to.
Oh yeah.
I just can do whatever I want, like not wear
We
a
make the
mask.
best movies, the best. We have the best entertainment, the best porn, the biggest movie actors. We have millionaires and billionaires. We get startups. We have mountains. We have beaches. We have deserts. We have everything we need right here. So why the fuck would I need to travel Europe for?
Yeah.
Nah, stay right here. USA. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, man. We've been talking for an hour and a half. So, you have a dope shit to share
yeah,
in the mic. What is it?
like something that I'm doing
No, something that you think people should know about outside of what you're doing. Something that somebody else
in
is
the
doing.
world.
Yeah. Like, is
I'm
there?
watching Game of Thrones right now. Game of
You
Thrones.
are
It's
late
I'm rewatching it.
in the mic.
It is in the mic.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'm watching Game of Thrones right now, and it's great. I'm rewatching it. It's a great show because there's like so much history and lore behind it, and you can really delve into it. There's like backstory upon backstory, and then it gets me interested in like medieval history and the
Oh, really?
crazy
Okay.
history of the world. Like this YouTube channel called Baz Battles. It
Uh huh.
gives you the background of like the medieval wars and the battles and like the people. Like these people I have no idea even existed that like conquered Europe and stuff. It's like this is the history of our world, and like it's super interesting, like how it happened and like how an accident in a battle won the battle for them and changed the world. It's like really crazy.
Yeah, Game of Thrones started with a incest problem. The whole thing started because some kid saw a brother and sister fuck,
Mhm.
and then all that other shit unfolded. That's crazy. But yeah, it is. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Great show. So you watched it all and you're rewatching it? Is that what
Mhm.
you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you one of those like the last season was shit and it should be redone?
Yeah.
Really?
I think most people hated it. If you look on IMDb, it's crazy.
Yeah. Did you hate it?
Yeah.
Did you care that much to be like they should redo it?
I mean, it doesn't. I don't have to care that much to think they should redo it.
That's scaring a lot because it takes a lot to put on that kind of shit, that kind of show, especially that last
Yeah.
season. And it's true that they wrapped up
They
too
can't
many
do it. All
stories.
the actors are old now.
Yeah, and then it's like they well, one, it takes a lot of money to produce a show like that, but it's like yeah, they did wrap up a lot of stories so quickly. They should
Yeah.
add another season, but it is what it is. I got other things to worry about. My dope shit I mentioned it earlier is the Woodstock '99 documentary on HBO Max. If you don't see white boy rage at its finest, it is a great documentary and it really shows the time we lived in '99 when it was the Y2K was around the corner. You know,
9/11 coming up.
yeah, but they didn't know that. But just the tension of white dudes and how like the scene that really hit me in the documentary, and I'll spoil this and I'll shut up about it. So this is at the height of when DMX was huge,
Mhm.
and DMX was on stage, and there's a sea of people, and then he raps the song "My Niggas," and it's like all these white college kids going my niggas, nah, 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 my niggas, like hundreds of thousands of people, white
Yeah.
guys going my niggas, and then DMX performing on stage. I'm like, holy shit, that's scary. That's some scary shit. Anyway, watch it. Woodstock '99 on HBO Max. All right, where can people find you? Social media, all that good stuff.
At DJ Hans Kim or Hans Kim Comedy. Look me up. Thank you.
All right, as always, make sure you follow the feedback everywhere on social media. Come go see Hans Kim wherever he's at. He's going. You've been hitting the road lately,
Mhm.
so make sure you follow him. Very funny. Uh, Regular on Kill Tony. Always got a good new minute. Congratulations on all the success,
Thanks,
whatever
man.
that means. Um, and live the van life. Do you, and spread the good word about how crazy and stupid this country is. I mean, I think at this point they know. They just don't want to admit it. It's like,
Yeah. That
come
makes it
on.
worse.
Yeah, it does. It does.
because
But
they know deep down.
yeah, they do. Of hopefully they do because it's right in their face every day, especially these days. I mean, for the past year and a half. So anyway, Hans, thank you for coming. I really
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll check you next time. I have really dope people coming up soon, so make sure you subscribe to the FeedBak podcast everywhere you listen to podcasts. It's up there. Check out our YouTube channel as well, and we'll talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.